This is episode 61. Whether you're DIY or looking to hire, we're here to give you the best options and information for you and your home. I'm Haley Thayer. I know you're shocked, but I'm also here with Craig Williams.
Hello, and welcome to the Homeowners Show. We are so glad that you guys could join us today. We have a really cool episode, and not just because Kevin's gone. It is going to be a lot of fun. We have special guest host Haley Thayer. How you doing, Haley?
Hey, I'm so good. I'm very excited to be back. This is amazing.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. We are so stoked that you're a Homeowners Show alumni now.
I feel it, and it feels great.
You got the trophy, you got the promotion.
Yeah,
it's
all up in my room as well, plastered. Yeah.
So, and I promised Kevin that I would bother you about this when you came in next, because after we got to know you last time, and correct me if I'm wrong, did you win an Emmy?
I did.
Yeah?
Yes. Whoa.
Now,
hey, shout out to that.
It's not as cool as a trophy as the Homeowner Show promotion trophy. But
okay.
Tell us a story. I mean, come on. How'd you get that thing?
Yes. Oh my gosh. That's so cool that you saw that. It's actually right next to my Homeowners Show trophy.
Awesome.
So it's on the same level. Yeah. So
if you need a little block of wood for the Homeowner Show to be taller, that's fine. We can send that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. That'd be great. So I worked in TV news for 4 years before I did what I'm doing now. I'm a personal mortgage consultant, and I started off as a news producer, and then I moved to Seattle, Washington, worked for King 5 News, and I was essentially producing commercials for my living.
Yeah.
And one of those commercials got nominated for a local Emmy, and I won. And
nice.
It was one of the most overwhelming experiences of my life. And I was like, in my mind, I was convinced that I was going to win, because you have to have that confidence.
Absolutely.
Once I won, I walked up there, and I had just torn my ACL. So I was walking with a massive limp, and I get up there, and the bright lights were so in my eyes, and I don't even know what I said, but it was truly the most incredible night. And I just feel so thankful to have that in my life. And I am a very creative person, and I just felt like it all came together in that moment for me.
That's so cool.
Yes, thank you.
And probably much more deserved than the other Emmys handed out that night.
100%. Yes. Yeah. Those losers. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, listen, I mean, because we have Haley guest hosting the show, if you haven't yet, we need you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button to our show and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Haley, where's all your stuff at?
Yes, same places. So everything is under Haley Thayer, Haley. I know there's many ways to spell Haley, but that's the best way. And I am on Twitter and Instagram and on Facebook under Haley Thayer, the Loan Originator.
Awesome. All right.
Yes.
On to the meat of the program,
yes,
which is Miss Mel tonight. We're going to be talking some interior design. And we're talking to Haley via video here, and I don't think that she needs much help with interior design. She's got this really cool picture of America behind. I, on the other hand, need lots of help. I'm struggling over here, and so this is just as much for me as it is for all you wonderful listeners out there. But we're going to be talking some interior design. Have you ever used an interior designer, Haley?
No, I have never used one, but I have it in my mind because I cannot seem to find my style. I have random stuff that I like.
Okay.
And it doesn't really gel with everything.
So we just need to start with the poster.
I need you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Start with the poster, and we'll expand from there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and bring her on. Mel, how are you doing tonight?
Great, thank you. Hi, Haley.
Hi, Mel.
How are
so
you?
Good to have you on. We are so excited to have you.
Me too. I'm mighty excited. I told everybody. So my whole entire family is going to be listening.
Yay. That's so exciting.
With zero criticism. Yeah,
Yes.
Nothing but loving things to say about everything that we do tonight, right?
Are you kidding me? She's going to have the whole church at her house to listen to this.
I love it. So your company is called Design on a Dime,
Mm-hmm.
and we actually connected over Facebook.
Yes, we did.
Much like Haley and I connected. And,
Yeah.
and so tell us a little bit about how you got started with this.
Well, I worked for another design company before I started my own. And what I noticed is that it limited access to certain people. So you were supposed to be of a certain caliber to be able to afford an interior designer, which is not a true statement. Any and everybody can have an interior designer. You just need to have a good one that knows what she's doing and can get you together. So I named my company Design on a Dime because that's really what it takes for me to be able to put your house together. And off it went.
Awesome.
Wow.
Well, and so how long had you been working for the other company before you decided to kind of go off on your own?
I was under her leadership for 3 years. But prior to her, I was a flight attendant and still had the passion to do interiors. So I would do it for family members and, of course, your mom's friend who knows a cousin, sister, friend. And it's always been in my blood.
Yes.
I'm telling you, even when I flew at the hotel while everybody else was downstairs at the lobby, I was totally redecorating that room.
Wow.
Like the hotel room.
Oh, yeah, like the hotel room.
Yeah.
Yes, moving that furniture around.
Those guys need some help.
They do.
Yes.
Some of them were pretty good, so I had to get a little bit more creative. So I tipped the bed over.
Wow. That's amazing. So how does it feel to be your own ownership, owning your own company? That's incredible.
I'll tell you what, I thought owning your own company was the website and the website and the logo, and off I'd go. Oh my goodness. It's intense. It's exciting. It's challenging. And there's a lot of growth that has developed since I've owned my own because I'm a single mom of 4. So just trying to time manage has been incredible.
Yeah. And so I think probably different designers approach it differently, but do you find, and I don't know how many people you've had approach you like this, but do you find that more people want to talk about the functionality of the room or just the overall look of the room?
So when people think of interior designer, it's the look of the room. And I'm having to educate them about the functionality of the room because, you'll have the person that'll come to you and say, well, I just have $500 for a couch and that's all I can afford. Well, there's a lot of things that goes into that $500 couch. Not everybody knows the weight capacity. And at $500, there aren't many couches that are going to hold you. And also the construction, the way the frame is built. Or I've walked into a house where they've bought a sofa that's 96 inches long and they're in an apartment. So it doesn't fit in there. So when they don't think about things like that. So when you're thinking interior designer, you're thinking, oh, just come and put the room together and make all the colors look pretty. No, I've got to think about how the house is used. Do you have animals? If you're a married couple, one of you could be tall, one of you could be short. So you guys are not going to sit on the couch the same.
Yeah. Legs may not reach the ground.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
And that would be weird.
And that would be yes, and that would be very weird. But you don't think about stuff like that. You're just thinking, all I need is a couch and I need it in gray. Well, no. Do you have children? Do they sit? Do they eat on the couch? You need a certain fabric that they'll be able to eat and you can just wipe it off. I didn't know that.
Right.
Or the cushions. He likes firm. She likes soft. You have to be able to accommodate that. So there's a lot of thought that goes into it.
Yeah.
I wish you came into my life about 6 months ago. So we live in this townhome and the walls, everything is just small, but in my mind, it's just normal because I've always either lived in an apartment or a townhome like this.
Right.
And so nothing fits in here.
Right.
Our couch is staying with the house when we sell it. Like it's just there. And we also had a mattress that we had to pull up outside of our townhome because it literally did not fit
the door.
And so if we had known the dimensions of everything, maybe we would have made a different decision.
A huge difference, Haley, I'm telling you. But people don't think about that. Because remember when you went to go buy the couch, it was in a huge store and it looked pretty. Yeah. And you just assumed, it'll fit. There's couches that you have to account the door opening for. and people don't realize.
Right.
So yeah, I'm coming. Don't worry, Haley. I'm coming to help you.
Yeah. Yes. Come visit your son and then come hang out with me.
Yes, I will.
That would be so fun. I'll take you to dinner. It'll be a blast.
That's all it'll take, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, so what are some other things? Because one of the things that really drew me to some of the things I was watching you do on Facebook, where you were actually like calling some people out for some stuff. Like I saw one post where like somebody was trying to do like this really ridiculous flooring. And you were like, you kind of went on like on a Facebook rampage, like this is the dumbest thing. People should never try this in their home, and everyone always does, and it never works out. And like, do you see a lot of that? I mean, like but because that's the kind of the Pinterest culture that we're in, is people putting ridiculous things up there saying, look what I did.
And that's the biggest pet peeve that I have, because yes, it's beautiful on Pinterest because it was done for a blog.
Right.
That's not how you live in your house. So the one Haley he's talking about, they had combined wood and tile, and it's beautiful when it's done in an industrial area where it's just a big old open loft. Now you're talking about a 10 by 10 kitchen that's surrounded with cabinets. So the only space that this double design you have just come up with is a patch on the floor. It either looks like you didn't have enough money to finish the wood, or you didn't have enough money to finish the tile. And it's ridiculous. And I could not for the life of me understand, one, why they did it, two, who put it down and thought it was okay. So on my Facebook page, I try again to bring a little humor into mistakes that they're making and just be transparent and tell them, don't try this at home, people. It's not for everybody. One size does not fit all in design. Please call me.
Yes, I will help.
Yes. So if you're looking for an honest designer that's not there to just get your money and go and talk about you to my friends, call me, because I'm there to make sure you're making decisions that, one, are going to add value to your home when you go to sell it.
Right.
Two, that are aesthetically pleasing for all your guests that come in, because I don't need you telling them I did that mess. I want them to walk in and be, wow. And now you can pass my name. So it's important.
When it actually works, then tell them about me.
Then tell them about me. And when it doesn't work, I'm going to tell you and not let you make such silly mistakes.
Right.
But why do people do that, though?
Because they're looking on Pinterest. And again, you don't get to see the whole entire room or the space. You just see that one part of the design element. And so to them, it looks pretty, but what's the function?
Right.
Why did that person on Pinterest do it? Or you have the ones that are going to do it themselves because they've seen it on HGTV. Well, HGTV is an hour show.
Right.
But it didn't take them an hour to put that project together. It still takes 6 to 8 weeks, and sometimes if it's construction, months.
Right.
So when you're looking at it, remember when the pallet phase was here and everybody was breaking pallets and they were putting pallets into furniture, into their homes and what have you? I kind of jumped on the wagon. I couldn't take that thing apart.
Oh.
But when I looked on HGTV, she was just popping it off.
Yeah.
It was difficult.
It was hard. Yeah, they are hard. I can show you a chair later. I'm actually pretty proud of that. That chair is 6 years old.
Right.
And it's made nothing out of nothing but pallets, and it's weird looking, which it just
that's what it was supposed to be. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember that phase. And some people are still doing that. I mean, there's a ton of pallet stuff going on. I mean, like I read a whole blog one time about guys that were making pallet floors.
And those are beautiful.
They can be. But
I'm telling you, the amount of work that you put into taking that pallet apart, go buy the product.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just go buy it.
You're going to spend like 50 hours taking pallets apart.
Right. Yes. And then you also had to clean them. Otherwise, you were bringing all kind of bacteria and what have you into the house and mold. But people didn't know that. All they saw is they took them apart, they made them into a wall, or they made them into the floor or into furniture, and off we all went doing it. Yeah.
You're speaking of the quiet. This is like what I tell everybody about Amazon, which just drives me bonkers. Is at least in my realm, is I always tell people, like, why would you ever bring an Amazon box into your house? Like, they don't care what else they ship with your product.
Thank you.
Wait. Oh no.
Oh, no!
Oh no, I'm like
Guilty.
so nervous now. Oh no! I literally just brought one in.
Oh no!
Okay.
All right, so Haley, I got to give you the Amazon talk. All right, so here's the rule with Amazon. All right, and unless you're like one of those people that goes and picks it up at like one of the lockers or something, that's the gas station or the apartment's problem. Like, whatever.
Okay.
Here's the rule in my house: if we get like an Amazon package just about every day.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, I think we all do.
Yeah, it's going to become that if you're not there yet.
Right.
If it's on your front porch, keep a pocket knife handy, a box cutter, open it there, take out what you want, and then throw it away or burn it. Because like it will be full, not full, but like that's how cockroaches and spiders and silverfish and earwigs, that's how they get in your house.
Oh my gosh.
Haley, I'm feeling like we're dealing with an OCD guy here. What? Cockroaches and spiders from an Amazon box? Really, Craig?
Yes.
I am so scared of spiders.
Yes.
I can't handle them. And now I feel like I just brought 15 new members in my house.
I can get y'all know I don't talk a whole lot about my business on the show, but like we're in pest control. And like anytime somebody tells me like, hey, we've been seeing cockroaches inside, or hey, we've been seeing spiders inside. Okay, I come inside and say, okay, where's the stack of Amazon boxes? And they're like, they're right over there.
No.
Every time.
Stop it. Oh my gosh, now I'm scared because...
Well, like you got to think, like it's really expensive to like fumigate a warehouse where they're storing all these things. Of course. And like, particularly like earwigs and silverfish, like they like to eat the adhesive that they use for the tape. So like they want to be in there. And like,
look at your face, Haley.
Oh my God, Haley. I wish y'all could see Haley's face right now.
I'm so scared. I'm like, I'm gonna see a silverfish and be like, no, that's not a thing.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I'm shocked at this moment in my life.
Me too. Craig,
Yeah, no,
why?
it happens all the time. It's crazy. So, and it's not to like say that Amazon's a bad company. They're a great company. It's like they're just being efficient. And so like, that's what happens. But you bring them home with your grocery bags too. I mean, like if you're using paper or if you're using like everyone likes to use their own grocery bags, like their own like canvas bags or their own things that, so they're not reusing plastic all the time.
Right.
Which
It's
is
a big
great
thing in California right now.
Like there's food particles in there, like because you don't put them in the washing machine. You just keep using the same food bag to go back to the grocery store where there's also cockroaches. And so you bring them home.
Do you think all this is because of what you do for a living? Because I've never thought about that, ever. I get so excited when that box comes. Little did I know.
What I do.
Yes, indeed. Now that I know you're so passionate about your work, good Lord, I can't wait to write that on a referral.
Yes.
Okay. So part of good design is not having bugs in the house. Let's just leave it there.
Yes, indeed.
Shout out to no bugs.
Shout out to no bugs, indeed.
And Haley, don't bring in those boxes. Goodness gracious.
Okay, well, there's one sitting right next to me, but we won't talk about it. It's fine.
It's just moving a little. It's fine.
Yes.
Yes. It's fine.
Goodness.
I'm not scared. I'm not sweating right now. Great.
All right. So since I know that things irritate you about design, I want to know what trends right now are just bugging you. Like do you like does Chip and Joanna get on your nerves?
Yes and no.
Yes and no?
Yes, because now everybody thinks anything that's black, white, and gray is what is their design style? Is farm country. What is
like
it?
Rustic or
no? Farmhouse. What is their design? I can't even think.
I know the place is called
Farmhouse.
Farmhouse?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're all calling it like the farmhouse style. So if it's black and gray, they're thinking it's a style. And they don't realize, like one lady wanted modern farmhouse and it had to be black and gray. And it's like, no, that's not all those colors are worth. So I love their work, but they're also in a shabby chic. And nobody sees that they're doing shabby chic. They've just termed it one. And, back in the day, there used to be a lady called Joanne Olsen. I don't know if anybody watched her. She was really good. And I wish HGTV or whatever would show that again, because she showed all different styles.
Right.
And she knew how to transition them and make them work. And one of her things was you don't have to be matchy-matchy, but everybody has to play nice.
Right.
So with Joanne Gaines, I just feel like her designs are predictable.
Sure.
Got it.
Once you see it, you can pretty much finish the show yourself. That's what I think.
Right.
But I love her. Joanne, if you're listening, I love you. I think you and Chip are the best. I'm just tired of everybody asking for that style already. Like, let's do something else. So,
right.
What's your
for
style,
you?
Craig?
Oh.
No, go ahead, Haley.
Oh, no. I love that. What is your style, Craig? I want to know everything.
Thank you. You see how he was trying to just, yes. Thank you, Haley.
My style?
Yes.
I don't know that I even have one. I mean, like I tend to do sort of an industrial rustic
I like that
kind of thing. Like I love putting, like we just, for those of you that have been listening to the show, I don't know if you guys know, we just gutted our whole house. We pretty much redid everything.
Yep.
And so the only thing that we didn't redo is the kitchen upstairs, which we had already redone, and I'd already done some of those kinds of things. So like we did like open shelving with galvanized pipe and wood.
Oh, nice.
And so my wife really liked that, so I wanted to do that in the bathroom as well. Mm-hmm. And so the bathroom, it has I did a solid piece of cedar for the countertop.
See what I mean? I like thinking outside the box.
Yeah, it was really cheap to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
yes. And design is custom. Everybody does not need to match what somebody else has.
Right.
It has to reflect the people that live in the space. So for you guys and where you live, I think that's beautiful. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, that was kind of my wife's like appeal to me, was like, look, this house is weird. We just kind of need to embrace it and like just go with it. Mm-hmm. And so we did. In all the different aspects. So like our new walk-in shower looks like a
car wash.
That'd be kind of cool.
Why not?
If I could get it to wash me, that would be fantastic. But no, it looks kind of like a barn. I mean, like it's old, like it's tile, but it looks like wood that was painted white at one time.
Oh,
and then
that's
it's been,
awesome.
pulled away. I'll show you pictures of it later. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
But yeah, so we've kind of just embraced that. And I don't know that that's necessarily my style as much as like that was kind of like what the house was telling us it wanted to do.
And you have to listen to the bones. You have to listen to the house. You can't have me come to a Tuscany home and tell me you want it to be modern. It's just not going to work. You know, you can go French country that's a little bit lighter than the heavy Tuscan, but you have to listen to the bones of the house.
Yeah. I'm curious because like you say Tuscan French country. I'm curious if like you've ever walked into a situation where people just start using words that you're like, what are you talking about? Because I can imagine the design world being a little hoity-toity and like, like they want to use the most current terms and all these. Have you ever run across that where people like just using words you're like, what is that?
Tchotchke. That's a Texas thing. Tchotchke. I'm like, what? What is a tchotchke? Oh, you mean a vignette? Oh, it's a vignette. It's not a tchotchke. Like, what's a tchotchke? Yeah, tchotchke.
I literally have no idea what either one of those are.
Same.
Shut up.
I'm very confused.
Educate us, please.
Tchotchke is whenever you're doing the, y'all, I'm like the worst at talking. I swear I talk with my hands and I'm sitting down so I can't figure out what to do with my movements. But like if you're doing a bookcase and you're putting a few things together, those are the tchotchkes because they're the little decor. Tchotchkes. But again, that's something I learned in Texas.
Okay.
I've always thought of them as vignettes.
Vignettes.
Yeah, well, that's a California term. It's a vignette. So then you put 2 or 3 elements, 4 or 5, but you put them all together, small little decorations that, are accessories. So tchotchke or a vignette.
Haley, we need you to test this out at your party tonight.
Word of the day.
Yeah, right. Well, okay, Seattle is very similar to California in that they like their vignettes and like all these little... The big thing here are little plants, like in terrarium.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So we see that a lot.
Because they're eco-friendly in California. Very.
Yes, exactly. Bringing some fresh air into your home.
Texas says go big or go home. So there's no little small tchotchkes here, baby.
That's amazing. So how do you kind of figure out what project is going to work best for you? Do you kind of go with whoever has come into your door and say, hey, I need help? Or do you look at every situation and say, hey, I can do this, but I don't do this?
My don't do this is remodel, but I've partnered up with a really great girl who's a general contractor. So girls rock. So that's what I don't do. I always tell them if they're needing a remodel, I'm here to make pretty, and she can break it and she can fix it. So that's my I don't do. But I do have somebody on the crew that, does it for me. There hasn't been a project that I walked away from. It's more the personality of the people that live in it and also the space. Right. So I have been gifted that once I come into the house, right away, I've already visualized what the house is going to look like at the end. So the toughest job for me is to convince you to see what I see. And I don't articulate very well because, again, being artsy fartsy, it's just like, but I know it and I understand it. So building trust with my clients to let them know that, no, the wall is screaming red when they think it should be blue is a definite challenge.
I bet. And do you like your clients to be involved the entire time, or do you kind of want them to be hands off and just trust you fully?
That's a loaded question.
I know. I guess it depends on the human.
Yes. No, I want you to be involved. So what I have come up with is I give you 2 separate designs and you get to pick which one out of those 2 that you want to go with. So there's the involvement. And then whenever it comes to accessories, no, ma'am. You cannot talk tchotchkes to me. I got that all by myself. I'll figure that part out. But if it's a piece of furniture, again, some want to sit in it and some just fully trust me, And then if it's color on the wall, some are okay handing it over to me, and some are like, whoa, when I was a kid, I lived in a brown house. I can't do brown. And you're thinking, what? It's still just a color. It's okay. Let it go already.
It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
Well, I'm curious as to when does it cross over from being a design project to like where you need a general contractor for you? I mean, like when are you like, all right, this is no longer my realm?
Whenever we need to break walls.
Okay, when walls start coming down.
When walls come down, that's it. That's
so
no
like
longer
if they
me.
wanted to replace the flooring.
That's easy.
Okay.
That's still breaking. So I would still get somebody to come in and get it done, but now it's not a remodel.
Okay.
So yeah, breaking floors, that's me. I can get that done.
Okay. And is that something that you usually, is that a big piece of what you usually bring to the table for like a redesign of a room? Is like, we need to really address these floors, or is that something you're looking at a lot?
When people are calling again for an interior designer, they have already classified us into 2 sectors. So there's the remodeling or the floor guy, and then the designer. Everybody thinks a designer is make pretty. They don't realize that it's the creative mind that puts the whole design together. And that includes the walls and the floor. So when I say I have to bring in a general contractor, is because I am not versed enough to know where your load-bearing areas are.
Gotcha.
However, I know that this wall needs to go. So that's when I need somebody to come in and take a look and make sure that whatever I'm doing, excuse me, is still what can be done.
Right.
Right. And then the same thing with the floor. But most of the clients that you get, if they're not under the remodel client, then they just want you to come in and paint walls and make pretty.
Awesome.
Got it.
And this maybe just be something that's come up on my radar. Is wallpaper coming back?
Oh, yes. Yes. And it is fabulous. Oh, my gosh. Yes. Because you know what? Now, would I put it in my house? No. Definitely not. Because again, it's a trend and it's a fad.
Right.
And it'll be good for a couple of years. But wallpaper is a pain to take out. That's why I wouldn't put it in the house. However, if it's your house, Craig.
Yeah. And you want
I'm happy to do it.
I'm not a wallpaper guy. I've just been seeing it a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely coming back. Definitely coming back because the faux paints are done.
Oh, okay. Like
we've phased out of that. Yes. Yes. So we're back to the wallpaper.
You ever done a faux wall, Haley?
No, I've never done one. And now I'm thinking maybe.
Is that something that was, because that was like a big deal down here. Did that happen up there a bunch?
Yeah. So what's interesting is a lot of restaurants actually do it up here, and it's more like fake plants. It's kind of weird. It's yeah.
Painting plants on the wall.
Yes. Yeah.
I guess
And
because of the weather. Because why would you do that?
I don't know. Some it looks really cool because of the space and how they've decorated everything else.
Yeah.
But some it's just kind of like, okay, well they did that. That's here.
You're like, here you go. Here's Mel's number. Call
Good for
her.
you. I don't know. I have no leg to stand on in this one. So, but it's so it's very interesting. And then also, I have seen a lot, and then a lot of artist commissions in this area as well. We have this one artist, his name is Henry, and he actually will come into your home, and it's almost like graffiti in some ways, but it's actually these animals with big eyes, and they're in this description, it sounds creepy, but his whole motto is making a gray city colorful. So all of his paintings are really colorful, and then he'll come in and do your children's room or things like that.
That's pretty neat.
But hopefully the eyes are smaller for the children's room.
Exactly.
It could be creepy.
Yes. Here's some creepy eyes.
Staring at you while you go to sleep.
Yeah. I swear that moose is nice.
Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow, right? What?
So many nightmares.
I know.
With all the spiders from the Amazon boxes.
That's right.
Wow.
A stack of Amazon boxes and Henry's painting. Nobody's sleeping.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Oh my goodness. That's funny. So you didn't tell us what your design style was.
Oh, that's a great question. So I'm not really sure yet. There are some modern houses that I really like, but I love color, as you can tell. And there are some craftsman style homes in Seattle that it's just kind of a dream come true. And they're older, and I just, every time I drive past them, I fall in love. So I'd say that's my style. I don't know what the inside would look like, but I know the outside.
That's very pretty. Do we have craftsman style homes in Texas?
I'm sure we have them. We have every kind that you could think of. I mean, like, I think I saw like a geodesic dome the other day.
What?
It's crazy. I mean, everybody's building weird stuff around here.
You got to give me the address to that one. I've got to see that for myself. Like, that's crazy. That's a California thing again. I wouldn't think I'd see one like that here.
But like, it was like wooden.
Huh.
Like, so I didn't get it.
Is it outside?
Like the house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Huh. I'm still baffled. I gotta go see this.
Craig still doesn't understand.
I don't. I see
it was
many
like
things.
pallets.
I'm driving around all the time. I see weird stuff, and I don't get it.
Haley, I said it was made with pallets.
Oh, it's right.
It's the it thing.
That's right.
It's the it
Ever heard of
thing.
it?
Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's hilarious. You're still laughing over here. Please don't copy that if you're listening. That's a no for all three of us.
No, all I could think of was like I'm always shopping for property in Arkansas, and I actually saw a house that was a pallet house.
Stop.
It was a cabin. I mean, but like, so it was like a 1-bedroom, but like it was all made out of pallets.
No way.
And I was like, that thing's. I mean, like,
how do they insulate that thing?
More pallets. I don't know.
Pallets on pallets.
Pallets on pallets.
That's how they sell it.
If you can't afford a log home, why don't you carry on with the pallets?
That's right.
What? That's crazy. That was not here though, right?
No, it was in Arkansas.
Okay.
It was in Arkansas.
Arkansas is kind of crazy.
Yeah. So I'm glad she brought up art, because I love art. I actually collect a lot of art. And so one of the things that I've struggled with is, like, I want some of my pieces, I want them to be like the centerpiece of the room. It's tough to do a room around something like that. Have you ever done anything like that?
Yes. And
is art hard like that? I mean,
it is.
Yeah.
But you know what you do? You put it into an art gallery. So then that becomes the focal of that room.
Okay.
So for Haley, who's colorful but once modern,
right,
then we would just focus on doing colorful art. And that would be your thing. So everything else is muted, light, white, and the only thing that pops is your art. So that becomes the focus of your room. But yes, I've had people have a piece of art and they want the room centered around it.
Yeah.
So now you've got to decide what style that piece of art is and who can translate art.
Yeah.
Can you?
No, I can't. I mean, like, well, the ones that I have are like abstract. And So I tend to not do anything small. So I think I have
Because he's from Texas.
Well, no, like I just, when I grab onto something, I just tend to like overdo it. But it's this one artist. His name's Mel. I think he's in New York now. He used to be in Singapore. I just really got into his stuff because it was multi-paneled pieces. And
that's
so
cool.
I ended up with I think I have 8 of them.
Stop.
And I don't know what to do with them. Like, they're not on the wall. I mean, and
Dude, I got to help you. This is exciting. Look at all this hidden treasure he has
I don't
here.
even think I have wall space for them. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Can we suspend him from the wall?
I suppose you could.
Why not? I mean, you're doing that whole industrial look.
I am. Yeah. I mean,
And you did say the house is crazy.
it is crazy.
And you go big.
Yeah.
There you go. I guess we've just designed a room.
So yeah, and I tell you, let me just tell you, I'm a little frustrated with this artist right now because he was painting some really, and this was 10 years ago that I got most of this stuff because I looked him up recently, and when I bought his stuff, he was doing these really cool multi-panel abstract things, and now he's painting sheep.
No.
And I'm not. They're not even, but they're like cartoon sheep. It looks like for a comic strip, and they're cute and they're adorable, but they're sheep.
You know why?
I have no idea.
He moved to New York.
Is that like a thing?
It is a thing because New York, there's too many of them that were doing the style that he was doing. So he decided to change it up.
He was so good. Go back to Singapore.
I'm telling you. Creative minds. Poor Mel. Do you think he knows you're frustrated?
I doubt he even knows who I am.
Well, after you bought all those paintings, he should know who you are.
Who I am.
Mel, if you're listening, can you please come and make some more paintings for my friend Craig that fit on the wall?
That I have no place to put, but I would love to have more. Actually, we could put them in the studio now that I think about it.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't I tell you I wanted to design the studio when I got here?
You did.
There's wall space.
It needs some help, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't want to be honest. The show's still going on.
Because we stopped doing video, that's why.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. This is actually fun, Haley. I was so nervous to come on. So I made my daughter practice. Yeah. I made my daughter practice in the car with me.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know. And it's not as scary as I thought it was.
No, it's not. Well, you're wonderful. And I feel like you know exactly what I wanted to ask. How do you inspire yourself? Where do you kind of get ideas from?
I'm glad you asked. So when we were driving right now today at 6 p.m., the sun was setting. And for whatever reason, there was just one batch of clouds and it had orange in it. Out of nowhere. So it was all white with a little gray and just an orange. And I was like, oh my gosh, that would be such a cool baby's room. Because everybody's so gender when they're designing the baby's rooms. And I thought that would be such a cool gender neutral baby room.
That would be a good color.
I know.
I mean, unless
That's
it was
beautiful.
Unless it was like University of Texas orange, then it's just right out.
Oh my gosh, they're so big about that. Okay, so again, coming from California, I don't know. So we went to Kemah Boardwalk, and they were giving out hats that day that we were there, and they were Texas A&M hats.
Right.
And so, they gave it to us for free. The kids were excited. We're wearing our hats, and we're walking by, and a guy says, "Boo." And I'm thinking, well, boo? No, it says A&M on it. It doesn't say boo. And he was like, Longhorn, baby. And I'm thinking, he wasn't talking to me because I'm not a Longhorn. I don't know what he's talking about. Well, a month later, I found out from a friend who was looking at a house that she walked in a house that was Texas A&M decor and they're Longhorns, and she walked away.
Oh my gosh.
It's a thing. Yeah, she didn't buy the house.
Whoa.
She walked from the decor. And I'm like, girl, we could have changed it.
Yeah, literally. That is a nothing. Yes.
Right.
Craig, why?
I went to A&M, and I've never gotten the whole let's be ugly to one another outside of the football game. If it's a football game, fine. Kill them. But
it's fine.
Yeah, yes. Destroy them. But outside of that, I don't get it.
Would you put orange in your house?
No.
See what I mean?
But no, I wouldn't put that. Well, I wouldn't put that burnt orange in my house. Not because it's anti-Texas. think it's kind of ugly.
Because it's anti-Texas, he said. Did you hear that?
But not because of that. Like, just because I don't like the color.
Right.
Like, I like orange.
Right. Just not the Longhorn orange.
Not that. It's like a weird muddy orange that just doesn't
translate.
Doesn't give me life in any sort of. So, but I also don't like put maroon in my house either.
That's a bit much.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, that's a bit much. Don't do that.
I have maroon, like I have maroon shirts, and because I go to the games, but like I'm not putting it in my house. That's a little much.
So you're not a dedicated fan? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I mean, I got my ring on right now, and I think I'm repping about as much as I can.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm doing my bit.
Yeah.
I mentioned them on my podcast.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
So, well, one of the things that I was kind of curious about, and this, I think this kind of goes back to the art, is do you tend to focus in on one particular thing when you like walk into a living room? And are living rooms typically what you're like the main attraction that people want you to come in and address? Are there other rooms that people are looking for you to?
Bedrooms are big.
Bedrooms are big.
Bedrooms are big.
Is that where people struggle, I think, to?
Because they feel in a bedroom that every single piece of the wall needs to have a covering on it. Okay. So that's where they get stumped, because they just cannot imagine a wall without a piece of art.
Okay.
So yeah, bedrooms are a big deal. And then bedding, like they just can't figure out how to lay the bedding like what they saw on Pinterest or in that magazine. So yes, back to your question.
I forget what the first part of that was.
The art, when I go into the living room.
Do you tend to focus in on like a single piece as a focal point for a room? Or do you kind of expand it out and go, okay, you know what I mean? Like, is it like, okay, I like that couch, let's do it around that? I like that chair, or I like that light fixture, or does that happen for you, or is that not the way you approach it? It's
not the way I approach it, because once I come into your house, you have a favorite thing. So for you might say, well, my wife has to have this recliner and it's not going anywhere. Well, there you go. Yeah. A room has just been designed on that one ugly recliner from great grandma that she's not going to part with.
Right.
But now it becomes a part of the room, and that's what we have to. So if I walk in and you say, I don't care about anything in here, everything has to go.
Okay.
Then now in that space, I'm looking at the layout, where the light is coming in from, the height of the ceilings, and just how you would use that space. So that's where I would get inspiration from. But if I walk in and you're like, we just bought this carpet and it's orange, red, and green. Mm-hmm. And you're like, and it's not going anywhere.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And at that
happy Halloween.
And happy Halloween.
We'll put some burnt orange around that. It'll be great.
Yes. So those are hard projects, because some of those things are scary even to a designer.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that orange and red and green and thinking, good God almighty. How do I keep a smile on my face like it is well with my soul? Because but I don't. I get myself together and go, oh, okay. Well,
I love this.
Yes, it's the best. Well,
this looks great.
I could see how like sentimentality could be a problem. I mean, like you mentioned, like that, right. Like this is the chair. It's not going. I'm a sentimental person. I have things that I really care about that like aren't necessarily like aesthetically pleasing. Mm-hmm. Is that something you run into quite a bit? I'm guessing.
Not with the younger generation.
Okay.
Oh, they're ready to throw that stuff out, baby.
Yeah.
No problems.
On to the next thing.
Okay. But when I'm doing a retired couple, there's a lot of sentiment.
Yeah.
And they're not getting rid of it. And, I don't blame them, because the furniture pieces that they have are from 1900, which is exaggerating, but 1900.
Sure. Yeah.
So the construction on those pieces, man, is solid.
Yeah.
And it is still beautiful, because they still treasured that piece of furniture. So they have polished, they have refinished, they have done everything to preserve it. Mm-hmm. So for them, trying to find that balance, because again, with that age group, change is very hard.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to listen to what it is that they want and give it to them without making it a dramatic change. So some furniture pieces, yes, great grandmother's furniture. If it's a solid piece that's still absolutely beautiful and stunning, man, I get excited.
Yeah.
Oh, I get real excited.
So what's the weirdest piece you've ever had to work with?
Is it the art that you have and we don't have walls for?
No. I'm saying like what's one that you've actually like
Yes. She had
it may end up being my stuff.
I know. She had, this is an older couple, and she had a day bed in her dining area. So it was an open concept kitchen. They had just bought a new house.
Okay.
So it's the new trend, open concept kitchen. Mm-hmm. So there's the kitchen and there's the dining area, and there it's set. And it wasn't even the wood kind. It was the iron that had the little written decor on it.
Yeah.
And it had the brass finials.
Okay.
And it was staying.
And it was like, this is here.
It needed to stay because that's where he takes a nap after he eats.
Oh.
So that's how they live. Now you decorate around that. And I was like, oh, okay. So can we? No, it needs to stay right there because he looks outside when he takes a nap.
All right.
Yeah.
You're decorating an adult daycare. Good
True
Lord.
story. Well, needless to say, it is now a fabulous couch. I pillowed the mess out of that thing, baby. Oh, yeah. I bet you he's not taking naps on there anymore because there's no space. But yeah, things like that where you're like, oh my gosh. And she wouldn't budge. So I had to make it into a lounge area.
Okay.
And put a coffee table and put some, bring
in some chairs or something?
Bring in some chairs.
Yeah?
And
okay.
Yeah. So in their kitchen, where there would be a dining room table, is a fabulous pillow-filled lounge area.
Excellent napping area.
Excellent napping area.
Wow.
I have never heard of that.
Oh, yeah.
That is bizarre.
That is bizarre. And had to stay.
I wanted to take a nap, but I have enough gumption to just walk in the next room.
You would think, right? But it's their home. And that's the way that they live. Yes. So even though I would not approve, I had to listen to what it is that they needed and work with it. But boy, oh boy, did I open a bottle of wine when I got home. It was a good one. I took a nap.
Yes, I took a nap.
Inspiration, I called it.
In a bedroom like a normal person.
Hey. Oh my goodness. That's funny.
It's funny you mentioned open concepts. We were just talking about that it was when we were doing Kevin's episode on his top 10. Mm-hmm. He hates open concept homes.
Because he doesn't like to clean.
No, that may be it. What he said in that episode was that he wants everyone to have their own room,
which is great. But
like he doesn't want to be able to see you from the kitchen. Like he wants to go in the kitchen and cook, and the kitchen is for cooking, and that's it. But he doesn't want to to be blending with his living room and dining room. And
Haley, do you think Kevin has a lot of friends? Because how are they all functioning in one little square? Like, no, Kevin.
Excuse me, I'm going to close this.
Yes, no, it's open so that you can visit with everybody at the same time. That's the season of life that we're in for these millenniums. They want to be able to converse with everybody from every angle.
I'm with you.
Right.
I'm game. I like open concept.
But I understand if he doesn't like to clean, if the kitchen is dirty, we can see it. So if it was closed, right, then he would have to see it. Or maybe he wants to watch TV. Yeah. And if it's open and you guys are talking in the kitchen and he's trying to watch his TV.
Right.
Where is Kevin? Can I ask him myself?
He is chasing young men around the football field right now, giving them penalties.
Oh, good for him. Wow. That's an open field. Maybe that's his fear.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm tired of all this openness. I'm going to go home.
I need my doors.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Understanding Kevin
this absolutely takes over his life in the fall. I mean, he probably does 3 or 4 football games a week.
Oh, that's awesome.
Crazy.
Wow.
And that's on top of his regular gig and the podcast. So
high school?
Before he moved here, he was doing collegiate ball.
Wow.
Texas is a little different. And so it's a much more open, and so you can stay and get paid just as much doing high school. So he does junior high all the way through high school, but he can do NCAA.
Get out.
Yeah, no, he's really good. He's been doing it for, I think he told me like 17 years now. It's crazy.
Wow.
So,
my son just finished up his football season. I wonder if we played against Kevin's team.
Well, he would just be the officiating crew.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's possible. I mean,
Did he do irons?
I don't know.
Huh.
I know. I mean, like that. You may expose me as knowing very little about sports in this very moment.
Oh boy. There's two of us. Well, interesting.
And I know nothing, so
might not be the best topic for us. Kevin, where are you?
That's right.
yes, Kevin.
Hurry back.
Please save this.
He does come in ranting every once in a while about something. I'm like, that's great. No idea what you're talking about.
Well, Haley, I don't know how well you know about Texas football. So my son, like I said, was playing, and he's in junior high. And so I'd go and I'd watch the games, and, I don't know anything about football either.
Right.
So I would get so excited if any of the little ones got the ball and ran the opposite way. And I would get up and I'd scream. Girl, how about one time one of the ladies told me, pick a side. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And she was like, pick a side. Well, it turns out I was cheering for the wrong team. And that's not allowed. I know. But the kid was good. So when you say you don't know sports, I got you beat.
Well, and also they're kids and they're all doing really well.
That's right.
It's fun to cheer them on. That my mom got in trouble for that all the time because she would literally cheer on, and then she would know everyone's name on the court with either side because she talks to every human, and she would just be like, yes, Chelsea, you did so well. And Chelsea's like on the bench on the other team. Like, it's like, okay, sure, why not?
That was good.
Yeah, this is me, your mom. I'm back again. Haley, it's me, your mom. Yes, that's me all day long. 100%. I get so excited for them.
Yes, they're little kids.
They're little
doing
kids.
the best they can.
And you're just like, yeah, it's objectively true. That was good.
That was good. And we're supposed to encourage him.
Yeah.
So if he's doing good, he's doing good. It doesn't matter whose baby or what team he's on. That's my thought anyway. Now, when you get into high school or college where, you're getting paid and they're recruiting you, then all right, I'll stick with the team.
Right.
But you're talking about, 7th grade? They barely know how to play.
They don't even know how to use their legs.
That's a true story.
They're morons.
Hey, I got one.
I was one. I do. This is how I know.
That's true. Even my daughter's nodding her head. Yep, it's a true story.
Well, like this is one of the things that because I used to work with college kids. And a lot of parents would come to me and talk to me like, where should I send my kid to school? And all this kind of, I'm like, look, here's the deal. Your kids, they just graduated from high school and everyone's been telling them they're an adult. They're not an adult.
Nope.
Their brain doesn't start forming for guys. It's like not until they're like 26 or 27.
Ooh.
Right.
And like, that's when it stops growing. That's when it stops developing. And I think girls, it happens a little bit sooner. And I think everyone can figure that out because girls are just smarter than guys.
Yeah.
But like, they're not adults when they graduate high school. They're still morons that are figuring stuff out. And that's not an insult. It's just like
the truth.
You don't know anything and you don't even know how to use your brain because it's not even developed yet.
That's true.
Right.
It's just, and so like, it's weird to like expect like 18-year-olds to act like a 40-year-old. They're not going to do it.
Right. I don't know who decided that 18 was the magic number for them because I don't think they're ready.
The draft.
Oh, okay. There you go. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that's a whole other subject.
Yeah.
Let's get back to
interior design.
Let's do that. That's why we're here, right?
All right. What else do you want to know? I'm ready.
Yeah. No, what I want to know is, because like we're here in Houston, and so like we know you, we can find you, but if you're not in Houston, how would you go find a good designer for my space? Like say, like we have a lot of listeners in California and New York and Florida. I mean, like we're in all these different states now. How would you start looking for one? How would you vet one? That whole process, what would you do?
Well, I'll tell you what. The first thing that's very important, like Haley was saying, you have to trust your designer. So when you're interviewing your designer, you guys have to match. And by that, I mean, when you tell her, I don't like red. And she says, well, you have to have red. that's not a good match for you. She should be able to say, okay, what about red do you not like?
Okay.
And then speak to you and walk you through the process, because there's other options. Or maybe you just didn't like red because, like I said from before, it was a childhood color. So your designer has to speak your language. Okay. 1. 2, you need to be very comfortable and trust your designer, because she does make the decisions at the end. That's why you hired her to begin with, because you couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's an important thing. And then 3, she has to educate you on the products that she's using in your house.
Okay.
So if you guys are talking about a rug and she cannot tell you whether it's a good rug if you have children or if you have animals, if she cannot tell you that the wool is going to start shedding and be patient until a certain time, she has to be able to educate you about products that you're using in your home. And like I was saying earlier, none of you go out shopping for a sofa saying, well, what's the weight capacity? Or how's this thing constructed? She also needs to be very versed in that. So when you're looking for a designer, the most important thing is she has to speak your language, period. Boy, both of you are nodding your heads. I must have said something deep. And all I said is...
I appreciate that, because I think it's kind of terrifying, because coming from a perspective of myself where I don't really know what I like, I see certain things that I like. I don't know if it goes together. So if someone, said, hey, red, and I say, I don't like red, I think opening that conversation up and really understanding why I don't like red, because for me, it's just all objective. I don't know. Blue is my favorite color and couldn't tell you why. I just like it. And so it's getting to that deeper point. And then also you feel a connection and building that trust and getting to that next level where your space is going to turn out the way that you want it to. And that makes all the difference, because if you're going to go through this, if you're going to spend the money to do it, it has to turn out the way that you want it to.
And if I can't dig deep, Haley, then I won't be able to get the vision out of your head of what, because you already know what you want your space to look like. It's up to me to figure that out. And if you and I do not connect and we don't have that open communication, I'm going to design it the way that I want, and it's not your vision, and you will not be happy at the end. So that's why that relationship is crucial. Because in little things that you're talking to me about, like even now when you're saying, I like blue, now I'm looking at the picture behind you and I can understand exactly where to go with your house and why to go that way and still give you the modern punch a color and in blue that you want. But when you don't have that connection, then it's, what do you like? Well, I don't know. Oh, okay. What about well, I don't know. And you guys just, you don't converse very well.
Right.
And I think setting that foundation at the very beginning is so key. And then you feel comfortable saying, you know what? At first I said I didn't like red, but now I'm kind of seeing some shades of red. It's almost that the reticular activating system where you start seeing that over and over. And then you realize, oh, wait, there are different shades of different colors. Or I like the way it looks in my space, all these different things. And so you feel comfortable enough to say, hey, can we go a different route? Can we think about it in a different way? And I think that's so key with everything you do, having that relationship. So it sounds like with you and your clients that you just go above and beyond to create that relationship first and foremost.
I do. I really do. Because if you're intimidated by me, you're not going to speak to me. But if you find me to be a friend to you, you're very open in everything that you say. I mean, even just in looking at your glasses that you have on, I can pretty much figure out what style you are. So if we don't have that connection, it doesn't work. So crucial, people, find an interior designer that speaks your language.
Is color one of those things that's just really tricky?
It is.
Yeah.
Because I'm blind to color.
Are you really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
In real life, I am.
So how do you see it?
I don't know. But some of the ones that I say are gray, you guys would say are blue.
Okay.
And some of the ones that I say are red, you guys would say they're fuchsia. But when it comes together, comes out exactly like I thought it should. And we both are on the same page and we love it. But yeah, that's what I've been told, that I'm colorblind.
Interesting.
I know.
But I think that could actually be kind of an advantage. You could see things in a completely different way than everybody else around you.
Completely different. Completely different light. I'm a weirdo. Call it for what it is.
A good weirdo.
That's right.
The best ones are weirdos.
Yes,
right.
and people, please stop thinking that it costs a lot of money to get your homes designed. A good designer knows how to work with a budget. They really, really do. And a good one is working on your behalf, not on the behalf of her pocket, but on your behalf. And she's going to get you quality every single time.
Now, what's the strategy with giving people the two different designs?
Well, usually if it's a couple, it works well because designing for the sexes. So if I give you two, Craig, you're going to like something and Haley's going to like something. Out of those two, I can come up with something that makes both of you happy.
Okay.
So there's kind of a little, plot to it. But if you're
Gives
single,
you more than one jumping off point.
Yes.
Basically. Okay.
Yes.
I'm with you.
And if you're single, you might have thought that you were industrial, but after I show you something else that's not industrial, that just might be your thing. So that would work great for Haley, who doesn't really know what her style is, but when she sees it, she knows it.
Right.
Awesome.
And if I just gave you one, you wouldn't be happy. Everybody wants an option. Everybody wants an option. So
yeah,
they want to feel like they have some sort of control in it.
That's right.
Like that they chose.
That's right.
Or they.
That's right.
I think that's spot on. Yeah. Haley, is there anything we hadn't covered yet?
No, I love everything we've asked so far, and I love all your responses. Mel, do you have anything that you want to add that we haven't asked you?
No, not at all. However, I want that address to Haley's house because I think she needs help with that couch.
I do. Please come help. That would be wonderful.
No,
and I think
this
we
is
just
great.
get along great.
Yes. Loved it.
Well, she needs to make the pilgrimage back to Texas too. I mean, she hasn't seen the motherland in a while, so.
I really haven't.
You've got to come out.
It's gonna come, you guys, and we're gonna hang out. It's gonna be beautiful.
We need to do like a live event that we can all sit around and have some drinks and talk about all things regarding houses.
Oh, that would be really nice.
So much fun around a campfire.
Yes. We can make that happen here.
I found a resort for us to go to, Haley. It's right outside, girl.
Wow.
6 acres, baby.
Do you just drive and then you find it, or what?
Oh no, I found it tonight. I'm in it.
You found it.
I will say when she got here, she called me and she goes, I think I'm lost because I couldn't be at the right place. And I'm like, where are you? And she's like, well, there's these red chairs and this giant fire pit. And I'm like, no, that's the right place.
Yeah.
You're
Let me
here.
come right up.
That's right.
Yes, wonderful.
That's incredible.
All right. So if there's nothing else, it's time for the final four. Yep.
Yay!
The always anticipated and ever feared
Final four.
Yes.
Can I get Google? Somebody help me. Let me have Google on. Yes,
you brought your own assistant tonight. I figured she was going to be feeding you answers.
Ooh, let's see.
All right. Haley, you want to kick us off here?
Yes. Okay. Question number 1. What's a tool that you can't leave the house without?
Oh, well, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Tape measure, baby.
Tape measure.
I got to have that thing all over the place.
Wait, was that yours, Haley?
It was my second one because I said a notebook, but at the same time, it was actually, I was talking about trying to get the fridge into my home.
That's right. Yeah.
And I was like, we need a tape measure,
Yeah.
which is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
I don't live home without it. It's like a Visa card. Oh, yeah.
All right. So I got to ask you, like I asked Haley, have you used the Measure app?
I did.
You used it?
Yes.
Isn't it awesome?
It is the best. But now here's the problem because I'm old school. So all this new app and technology you guys are pulling out is like stressing me out. So when I would get to the houses, I'd like draw the whole thing out and then I'd get my tape measure. My daughter's like, Mom, what are you doing? And I'm like, shh, I'm measuring. And she's like, Mom, can I just see the iPad? I'm like, shh, I'm measuring. And she's like, Mom. So she grabs it, takes a picture and and I'm like, oh, how'd you do that?
This is the coolest thing.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. Yes.
And it works like over long spaces too. Like it's not just like for like hanging pictures and like you can use it outside.
Stop.
It's awesome.
Really?
Yes. And it will remember.
Do you know how heavy the tape measure is in my purse? Like, this is awesome. What do you mean it'll remember?
Like if you set waypoints on it, right? And like you move the camera to like a different part of the room. And like you set another waypoint, if you move the camera back around, it will show you the old waypoints right where they were.
Wow.
It's so crazy. I don't know how they do it. They're brilliant.
Training 101. I'll be here tomorrow. Thanks, Craig.
Yeah. Well, I'll show you after the show. It's fantastic. All right. Question number 2. What is a job you walked away from? Now, this question usually requires a little bit of explanation because a lot of people think that we're talking about like a profession, which is fair. You can answer it that way. The way we originally intended it was like, what's a project in the home that you got into and then became a problem? And you're like, you know what? I need a professional to manage this. So, but you can take it either way. Either a job you walked away from or a project in the house that you're like, I can't do this. I got to call the plumber. I got to call the electrician. Either way.
Okay, you guys are going to laugh, but it's that pallet nonsense I was talking about earlier. I was so totally going to put on the ceiling. Like I was going to do the whole entire ceiling with it. And 3 pallets in and bruises on my fingers and what have you. Just wasn't worth it.
No.
So I had to walk away from that one. That's my final answer.
No.
That's a good one.
Walked away from pallets on pallets.
Walked away from pallets. So when he said that he has a chair made of pallets, my heart started going, oh. Can't wait.
Okay, question 3. How do you wind down at the end of the day?
Red wine. I gotta be honest, I love that wine. I'm all about my red wine. So yes, that's what I do. With my 4 babies, I have one that still lives on my bosom. He's 9. I'm not breastfeeding. You just cuddle time for him is very important. So we share the recliner and I have my glass of wine and he sits there on his little tablet and mommy and me time is born.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good way to wind down.
That is a good way. And I appreciate it because the other ones are older and they don't think I'm cool anymore. So what do you do?
Yeah. Gotta keep it chill.
That's it. Not the red wine though.
You don't want to chill that.
Yeah,
no.
don't chill the red wine. I was about to walk away, Craig, because those are bad words.
No, I'm actually coveting it right now. I'm like on this 75-day alcohol-free thing and I'm like,
alcohol free. That's a thing. Is that allowed?
I committed to like this personal discipline thing of like 75 days. And part of it is I can't have alcohol for 75 days. And so it's like,
wow.
I hope he doesn't smell it on me because I had a glass before I came.
I'm a good 30 days in. So like, I'm good. But like that was my wind down.
Wow.
Not wine. I usually do some bourbon, but,
Ooh.
But yeah, so
that'll grow hair on your chest.
That was the idea. It didn't work.
No wonder you're on that 75-day thing.
All right. Question number 4. What's one of the best pieces of wisdom or advice you've ever been given or received?
Ooh, that's from my mama.
Ooh.
And that is put the Lord first in everything you do, honey, because you can't do anything wrong. So that's it. Jesus everywhere, baby. I carry him all over the place, first and foremost.
Awesome. Good
I love
deal.
that.
All right. So, which is amazing advice. The 5th and final secret question.
5th?
Yes. We sneak one in there.
Stop.
If people want to get in touch with you, how do they find you? How do they get a hold of you?
I love the secret question. All of a sudden it is well with my soul. Yeah. All right. So I do have a website page, designonadimeinterior.com. You can find me there. And once you're there, you can pretty much plug to my Facebook and you can plug to my Instagram. However, Instagram is design_on_a_dime_interiors.
Nice.
My daughter created those underscores. They're close to her heart. And then I just have a Facebook page. The best Facebook page to follow me on is Mel Stevens.
Okay.
Because that's where I interact with everybody. And that's where I
So your personal Facebook page.
My personal Facebook page.
And you're happy for people to link up with you there.
Let's do it.
All right. Yeah. We will link all that up in the show notes for sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Haley, anything else we got from us?
No, Mel, you are just such a blast to hang out with. You are wonderful.
Oh, thank you, Haley. I enjoy myself too.
Shout out.
It was uber nice meeting you, and I can't wait to come to Seattle to see my baby and come hang out with you. Maybe you can go show me some of those.
Welcome.
Maybe you can show me some of those pieces of googly eyes.
Yeah.
That Henry does.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You would love them.
Okay.
They're very cool.
Awesome. This has been an absolute fantastic episode. Thank you guys for being here. This has been a lot of fun. Everybody out there, if you have not yet, and if you didn't enjoy this episode, this podcast probably isn't for you. Just move on. But otherwise, hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Again, you can hit us up on Twitter, like Haley did today, but we didn't respond.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
That.
Yeah, we got to stay true to our word. We're on it. We're on there. We're just not going to interact. It's just,
It is what it is.
it is what it is.
It's fine.
That's right. It's our thing. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next Tuesday, but enjoy this one. And until then, take care.
Bye.
Bye.